This episode is brought to you by SRB Field Rests, Buck Nasty Deer Lure, and ScentBlender. Smell the blend.
Folks, welcome to another episode of Timber Talk. I am your host, your buddy, your pal, old Polly, and I got Chris Highline.
As always.
And then I got Pizza Mike.
Yes.
How you doing tonight, Pizza Mike?
Tired from all the pizzas.
Too many pizzas?
All day.
Is there a popular pizza that you normally, sell a lot of? Is it just pepperoni or is it like everything?
Man, we got everything.
You got everything?
Hawaiian.
Hawaiian's the
That's
most popular?
un-American.
I love pineapple on pizza for the record.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Pineapple and ham?
on a pizza.
Pineapple and ham. Oh, it's good. It's good.
It's good because Pizza Mike says so.
Well, there you have it.
And who would know better than this guy?
That guy. That's you're fluffy. He's fluffy.
Nah.
Come on.
Come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anywho, guys, welcome. On today's show, we're going to talk about just random stuff, like different things we see on the news, because there's like so much stuff going on this week, and it's just this week, this month. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on with TimberBucks, and there's a lot of things with Timber Talk, and we just got a lot of stuff to cover, and a lot of good things, a lot of bad things, but you know how it is. Now, I've been reading, guys. I'm going to hit random things. This is going to be different on the show, so this is going to be not just one subject. We're just going to hit all kinds of stuff.
Paul, we have to be organized.
I know. Pizza Mike is. He wrote stuff down.
He's all prepared. I'm just winging
I don't
it
think
over
he
here,
wrote
folks.
it. I think he had a girl write it for him, but I don't know. That
Got
looks
bad hands if it came out like that.
I don't know. That's pretty good handwriting.
That's pretty good handwriting. I think.
Compared to what mine is.
Yeah,
I'm
mine's
like a
chicken
doctor.
scratch.
Yeah, right? I'm like, and they're like,
yeah.
what was that? You know,
With the hand says
2
thank you.
eggs and a pony. Anyways, I don't know. So anyways, on today's, the first topic is deer with rabies. Now, there was 2 cases in Upshire County in West Virginia. They found rabid deer. Not
Rabid
vam
deer.
deer. Not vam deer.
Not vamp deer. It's like
Rabies.
rabies.
So they've been finding out that these deer are getting either bit by, I'm assuming, raccoons.
Raccoons are attacking deer now. It's like a deer versus raccoon attack.
So it's like a zombie.
It's sleeping. Come on, bite him on the ass.
Yeah, it's like,
zombie deer.
zombie. It's creepy. What's your take on it? I mean, I'm not shocked because these raccoons, if you ever saw a rabied raccoon, them suckers will chase you down and all that stuff. And imagine, like, if they're feeding and stuff. I don't know.
Well, wait a minute, though.
Okay.
I mean, we just assume it's a raccoon, which, yes, I mean, raccoons do get rabies.
I don't see people biting deer.
No, but I see coyotes biting deer all the time.
Yeah, okay.
So you're telling me a coyote might not be a rabbit out there?
Oh, good point. Let's all get.
I would probably more lean that direction than an old raccoon.
Smart ass motherfucker. Anyways, but like, yeah, I mean, they're starting to find rabies in deer, and I'm like, oh dear God. I mean, could you imagine sitting in a blind and all of a sudden it's like, ah, and it's coming at you, like trying to kill you and stuff.
Better hope you're in a tree.
What do you think, Mike?
Well, I mean, they are mammals, so it's entirely possible. Well, it is possible, and it has happened.
Really?
And I could not imagine getting that nice shot. You're all excited, and you get up, and you got a foamy mouth. That would be heartbreaking. But
I've seen that on a girl once. All right,
Ooh.
what?
What's the name? But
That's a good question. How would you know? I mean, what is the foam thing for sure? Or what if it's like an early stage and you hunt and kill that deer and you don't know? Can you even eat that?
well,
Let's say you don't know it's rabbit. What happens if you eat that?
Well, the DNR do test in these particular areas for like all kinds of stuff, like CWD, and they test for all these diseases and stuff. And some of them are required when you check in your deer that you have to take it to a checking station to have them, look over these deer. But it's a good point. How are you going to know?
That's
a dead
terrifying now that you've said that.
Yeah, think about that. A dead deer.
That never crossed my mind once. It's like, oh, we got deer meat. Eating like rapid meat. Like,
and all of a sudden you're like turning.
Yeah. A zombie apocalypse has happened because all of a sudden at the start of West Virginia during deer season. Wonder how that started.
I don't know, man. Coyotes, like you
but
said.
I will say that they do say that the chance of catching rabies if you eat a rabid animal like that, like a rabid deer, they actually say it's actually pretty low.
Okay.
It's pretty rare.
But if they bite you, you're screwed.
Well, yeah, then you get rabies. But like outside the body, rabies actually doesn't survive that long unless without its host.
So if the deer lays for like, I don't know, half an hour, you should be all right.
I don't know.
Well, me personally, I wouldn't chance it if I could tell that it had something wrong with it.
But how can you tell that?
That's the thing.
I mean, they like extra saliva around the mouth, they say. Or if you happen to see the deer before there, I mean, it could be like neurological problems. It's not walking right. Its back legs are acting funny. I mean, there's no fear because they will take off.
It's killing birds and shit.
The thing is, bucks though during rut are all stupid and running around like an idiot too. So how are you going to know the difference?
Their tongue hanging out.
Yeah.
You
don't know which
going crazy.
It could be. I'm saying. I mean, when you brought that up, if you're in Upshire County, I would. I want to make a comment, but I would also use a little more caution. I would definitely suggest what Paul said is, if you do get a deer in Upshire County, go to the DNR and get your deer tested.
Kanawha
County.
Kanawha
County.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Kanawha County.
That too. I guess they got to check them in for disease, and they're trying to check for that CWD that we have talked about a million times.
Yeah, I think people are tired of hearing about CWD.
Yeah. So the other thing, that's the big, a rabid deer. There's crazed rabid deer. I mean, that's all we could touch on that. Now the fella, how do you say that? Hogs? How they call that?
Feral
hogs? Yeah. I'm sorry. And let me set some more. So they're starting to have more sightings, more heavier sightings throughout the state. Now, we have seen Texas, how they have all these hogs and how they just start expanding.
Yeah.
And now they got a big problem, farmers do and all this stuff.
Yeah, like I said, the last episode, you should watch it. I mentioned how a lady got killed by feral hogs in Texas, I brought it up in that. But you got to go watch that, guys. See that. But yeah, no, I mean, feral hogs. There's a big problem, and if this becomes in our state, that is terrifying. Because,
they're like roaches. I mean, they just keep rabbits.
Multiply. I mean, like it's kind of like a rabbit where they're born pregnant.
I don't know. Maybe I'll tell you about the birds and bees later. But
the point is.
Story time with Paul.
Right, and that's an interesting story time. But if they keep multiplying and they take over, this is going to be a very, very bad problem. The only thing I could say maybe that might prevent it from being so bad in West Virginia or Ohio for that matter is the temperature change, because we deal with a lot more cold, and I don't know if that affects them or not.
No, because they get that coat on. And here's the thing. In lower West Virginia, they've had hog hunting. They've had hogs, and you can hunt them. And I'm not sure about the Eastern Panhandle, but I know more south, they've been getting hogs, and you can hunt them and get tags and all that stuff. But now they're starting to see them migrate farther north, and they're starting them.
Yeah, they're coming for us
a lot more. And I'm shocked that the bears haven't. You know what I mean? Like there's not a lot of bears.
Well, we don't have a lot of bears.
We do down south of the state. But I mean, up north, we don't have too many. I know over towards Maryland on the Eastern Panhandle, we got some bears. We got a little bears. I'm not talking beer. I said bears.
And speaking of over towards that way, so far closest to Ohio County, for example, they found it came in like Tucker County is where the nearest feral hog was found in West Virginia.
That's pretty close.
And that's like right over by the Eastern Panhandle.
Yeah.
By the Eastern Panhandle.
Mm-hmm. So about...
That's not that far.
No, less than like 150 miles away or so. But the point is, they're coming north,
right?
And so they're making their way up now because
they're finding 5, 10,
41%. 41% of counties in West Virginia has them now.
Yeah,
that's how.
I don't want to deal with that.
Why? Could you imagine? You know how much bacon? Who don't like bacon, Mike?
Apparently, you never watch these hogs attack people. Why don't you watch some videos when they come at somebody?
Here we go.
And you don't have a gun. You only got a bow on you, and they come roaring at your face.
All I need is a knife.
Yeah, that thing will come.
I want to see that.
That thing will come up.
Babe, what is wrong, babe? I'm sorry about the spider, man. I don't know, but I mean, who doesn't like bacon? I think it's great. Like they let loose some elk, and they're starting to migrate. But once again, probably the coyotes are taking care of
Well,
the elk,
again, the coyotes have always been an issue. That's why they had bounties on them.
Yeah.
But elk,
Not
I did
much.
not agree with them re-releasing elk
Really?
into the environment. Yeah, yeah, I don't think it's a good idea.
I think it's awesome.
I mean, as a hunting perspective, yeah, it's great for hunting.
Hit by a car is a little different.
That's what I'm thinking. Because you look at
It's
Alaska,
not like a moose.
well, I mean, it's pretty big. It's
I
about
mean,
as big as
it's
a damn
big.
moose. You go hit one with your car and tell me how great it is.
A car.
You won't have a car left. You'll be like, well, I had a car.
Yes.
Where'd it go?
Well, Mike, you got a small car. What's
Yeah, how you think it would be
Well,
fun hitting an elk?
I don't know about an elk. But about a year ago, I did hit a doe with my car.
Did you?
Like right up there by right out the road there by Perkins.
Ah,
And I go to pull forward. I mean, I wasn't going like 50 miles per hour.
no, not in that car. It won't
But-
even make it.
No, but the deer basically did bounce. That car's a little tank, but the deer did bounce off of it. Got up and gave me that. What is your problem? Shook its head and walked off. I'm fairly certain it was not rabid.
I love you like brother, but watching him get in that car is hilarious as shit. I mean, it's like it's a little. You need to watch it. Maybe we'll film it one day. I don't know.
have to.
Well,
No,
Somebody doesn't want to.
well, yeah.
yeah.
All
I
right,
mean,
come on. We'll make
let's do it.
1 week that'll be the special.
It's
Mike
like-
getting in his car. Let me tell you something. That thing is roomy on the inside.
You think?
Oh yeah,
Think?
I seen you in my Jeep.
yeah. For strangely enough, I fit better in my Kia.
Nice.
I do.
So that was the thing with the hogs. The hogs are going on. Now, my favorite subject, ticks. So now there's a new longhorn, I think they call it longhorn or pronghorn tick. And this sucker's bad news,
Was that the
boys.
meat one?
Yeah, this is the bad news. So what they did was they took almost like a gigantic lint roller. That's what they said. I'm picturing like someone with two guys on each end.
Like that
You
plastic
find
sheet.
anything? We ain't found out shit. But anyways, and they
Nothing
rolled
yet, sir.
They rolled through the field and they had they just did a real quick thing and had thousands of ticks on there. And what they're saying is they're getting on the cattle and causing the cattle. They're sucking cattle dead, like they're vam ticks.
Damn ticks.
They're vam ticks. They're
Wow.
sucking. I mean, there's so many on them. Not like right away. They don't just go on like piranhas and then start hitting them up. They're literally just, in time, they're sucking the blood from these cattle and giving the cattle diseases and then plus killing the cattle, like pretty much sucking their blood. And they just die. And farmers have been talking about that. And there's a lot of them. And it's spreading. It hasn't hit our area yet, thank God. But it's farther west, I believe, but it's coming this way. And I'm telling you, this bug, if you get bit by that,
It's over.
You can't eat meat. You'll
Ever
get
again.
sick. I mean, it's just terrible. And ticks alone carry so many diseases. We spray down every time we're in the woods, and we still have them. And I mean, we tried Sawyer's. We tried what is it called? Dead downwind stuff. We tried.
Yep.
We tried even that off stuff. Enough, forget that. But we found all these ticks on us still after the fact. So imagine these ticks, and they're bigger than the ones. But even the babies will suck like crazy, like suck the blood right from the cattle. Imagine that. That's a big problem.
That is nasty.
That is a problem. The question is, I'm just thinking, how could they solve that? Now, I know,
Spray.
well, spray, but when
And
they're
then
talking
kill
about the
the
cattle.
harvest.
But then I thought, well, maybe if they mess with the cattle, it won't work. Because, for example, which I'm sure every pet owner knows this, that they have a thing that you can buy. It's called Pet Guard or whatever it is. Pets Guard.
I don't think it works.
It works great. What are you talking about?
I got 2 dogs. I'd give them that crap.
They put it on the back of their neck, and then you say it doesn't work.
No, they got a Chewy.
That's you're not using what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
let's get that crap all over the house.
Well, there's this stuff that's in a vial. I can't remember what it's called. I want to say Pets Guard or something. But anyway, it's like you treat them and you hold your animal in place and you put it on the back of their neck where they can't reach it.
yeah.
And it goes into their
That's for
bloodstream.
cats.
It works for dogs too. They got dogs and cats. I'm just saying.
There's a difference on poundage on that sucker between a
Well-
cat and a dog. Unless you got them little
Well,
mutts.
they make different ones. They make ones for dogs, make one for cats. My point is, if it becomes an issue, someone better develop one for cattle, or they ain't gonna have none.
Yeah, but also think about this. those ticks, they get on squirrels, they get on deer, they get on any animal, and start killing them, we're gonna have a big problem. And as a hunting, perspective, what do you got, Mike? What else you got? What kind of subject you got to talk about today?
Well, I'm kind of still stuck on the subject of really nasty ticks. I can't shake this quite yet.
You're going to be sleeping tonight, and you're going to be like, I told you check your crack, man.
Yeah, I tried.
It's deep. It's deep.
He's like, I tried.
Now, hold on. Do you stand in front of the mirror and you're like,
There's the sight.
we know you do it anyways. You get out of the shower like, yeah, look at that. Yeah. So, no, how do you check for ticks?
Oh, I do have a mirror.
Do you lay it on the ground too? And like,
Oh, man.
look up. Let's get detail here, Bob.
I don't want to go into too much detail.
Why not?
Because that's for
Our
OnlyFans.
listeners want to know about it.
Yeah. That's Pizza Mike's OnlyFans.
Let's talk about Pizza Mike's.
Let's check for ticks
Yeah,
tonight.
I like to check you for ticks. Bow, bow.
I hope you're not singing that at me.
No.
Okay,
I'm
thank
not.
you. Thank
I'm
you.
not.
No.
I asked my wife, she's like, oh, dear God, you want me to look for ticks? Seriously? I'm like, you want me to die? She's like, well, I need the money, so let me look. You never know. You know how women are. So what other subject you got, Mike?
Well, nothing really. If you want to talk about the rut.
The rut.
The rut.
You know who won the rut, right? I think you and Zach.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. Because the
What are you
rut.
talking
You remember how we did the when do you think the rut's going to come in? And
Yeah.
I said this week. And they all said early season or early week. What would you say?
I
The
think-
first of the week
I
or
think
the
it was the
second?
second week.
Okay, you said second, and I think Zach said the same. I don't know. We're gonna have to do a replay on that. I'm not sure, but I think between you two, you get some Sprite or whatever, and
Oh,
he
nice.
probably gets some.
How
beer.
do you figure?
What he won? You didn't call it.
I did call it. I said the first weekend we went out.
Okay, so
and then
all
we
of you
saw.
won.
What did we see the first weekend we went out?
All right. Well, they were chasing a little bit,
A little
but
bit.
last week, this past week, we seen them chasing and running like crazy, and it's
Well,
it's
it doesn't mean that the game's over yet. There's still plenty of time.
No, there ain't. I'll talk about that later. But I mean,
Damn deer
it's
back.
just you guys were right. I was wrong. Let's take a moment and suck that in.
Is it time to lament?
Yes.
Well, I'm not going to. I was right.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Whatever, man. Judge. Judge.
But
So what you got, Highline? What you got to talk about?
I'm just along for the ride here, folks.
He's
I know
along
they
for the
just
ride.
want me to be here just to sit here and look pretty, so that's what I'm doing.
but
He's getting full of himself anymore. He gets comments like Snowflake, and look at him. Look at him. Now he's all,
They just show how much they love
I'd
me.
rather get
That's all it
Snowflake
is.
than Baloo.
yeah. Well, you said that was a great gesture.
You said you like
Yeah,
that character.
It's a joke. Yeah.
I mean, we've called you worse.
well, that is true.
No, I'm kidding.
I
We
cried
like
a
you.
lot less too.
I know. It's all right. Bear in mind. So, also, we want to talk about that Ogilvy wonderful thing for the last time. The calling. Whatever.
Calling is officially over.
It's over.
It's done.
Now, here's the thing. Sources say.
I'm glad you found something. I couldn't find anything.
Well, I called DNR and I asked, and then I had to call some other people.
Had to put the feelers out
So,
there.
all I know is they did not harvest that many deer.
No, we didn't.
I think the first day, rumor was they harvest like, what'd I say, like five or six.
Five.
Yeah, and honestly, there wasn't that many hunters. Whether it was either people made them feel like and they didn't want to go, or I don't know, maybe they just said, "Well, this ain't worth it." Whatever. Anyways, the
Or
count
maybe
is
they
real
claimed
low.
the spots that way nobody else could take them, and they just didn't show up and they didn't fill the spots.
Well, maybe
That could
that
have
too.
happened.
We weren't there. We
No,
don't know.
we don't know.
All I can tell you is all these protesters that's been following this and saying all their little comments. Let me tell you something. Your Bambi is fine. because they didn't kill that many. Their goal was like 100 and some in 3 days. I don't think they can. Now
how could they if on the first day they only got 5 or 6? So either they did a miraculous turnaround in the last 2 days.
According to them, that was one of the sources said they asked the game warden or something around like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock because he was out. He was out riding around, I guess. A lot of people saw him. He was making his face. I'm here,
Well, that's good.
and that's great. But apparently, according to sources, they said that there was like 5 or 6 deer. And I'm like, look, you send Timberbucks down there, we will clean house. Maybe these guys just don't know. But no, so it was low. So their goal was for 3 days, they wanted to have at least 100 and some deer, which Highline, if I remember correctly, said it's no way. It ain't going to happen.
I told you it wasn't going to happen. It wasn't even going to get close.
I thought there was more skilled hunters than, they're saying 15, 20 plus years of experience. I mean, you think somebody could pop a deer.
No, they're too busy stealing other people's deer. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. And then they started talking about, a lot of these, I say they had the trophy hunters came down there and they didn't even shoot a doe because they were looking for the big bucks.
They wanted the big bucks.
They were looking for the big bucks, and I'm going to say that, and I don't care what people say. And there's all that controversy. There's more comments about, I spend all this money and I freeze my off, and these people go in there and just shoot these tame deer and blah, 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 and all this other shit. Look at all this fight that happened with all the media. You know what I mean? Yep. Like the radio stations and all this shit. And like, I think Highline said it too, and you said it, Pizza Mike, you said, if they didn't say anything about it, no one would have knew about it, and we would have been fine. But once the social media and the news and the radio and all that stuff, and I guess we're kind of guilty at it too. But, we just wanted to cover and clear our fan base and let people know, hey, we're not against it and we're not for it. We're just kind of in between. That's what we try to do, fair and balanced stuff.
I didn't do that.
Huh?
I didn't do that.
No,
you did that.
You said some nice things.
I made it very clear what my position is, and I still maintain that position that the hunt should have happened. I say, one, if they didn't get their quota, they should have made another one right now this season before it's too late. They won't.
Exactly.
They won't, but they should. And the other thing I said is, we've mentioned before, which again, maybe we'll get there one day.
Maybe.
Is we should have the disabled being able to hunt this.
Exactly.
And again, all the meat should be able to be tagged free, in my opinion, because it's on an actual, it's private land.
It's private land.
So they could, they could have an exemption to the rule. And I understand it's a state deer, but again, the overpopulation, it's not like DNR isn't unaware of the situation, or you just mentioned game wardens running around, so it's not like he's clueless to the situation there.
Right.
They know why they're there. They should make it an event. They should make it an event for, like you said, the disabled, the veterans, and then donate all the meat to the homeless, and have a butcher in place somewhere in this valley, which we have to find one, I understand that, somewhere in this valley, and actually do it right. But
I look at it,
who knows?
I try to keep that fair and balanced, but I'll let you guys just say your own opinion. So, Mike, what do you got on that? Anything else you want to add to what Chris said? Anything certain?
No, I have to agree with Chris. I mean, it was a very necessary thing that needed done.
Right.
Unfortunately, it didn't yield as many positive results
It didn't get done.
Yeah, it didn't yield as many positive results as what was hoped for. But, yeah, do it again. This time we're organized, or just don't tell people.
Well, the other thing is, I look at it, now it's over. I mean, we had attorneys and all that other crap. I don't want to drag this on, but we had attorneys and all this other crap trying to get involved to get, better themselves, put more money in their pocket and all this stuff. But I'm going to say something. Okeby was shady as what they did. And I'm going to say this openly because they were shady because they pretty much freaking lied. They said they talked to DNR. DNR said they didn't talk to them. They said they did all this research. They have a biologist down in the zoo, which is not qualified, I don't know, maybe for turtles or whatever the hell he's supposed to do. The other thing is, I do see the need for management. I've said that 100 times. But for God's sakes, people, do your research before you do this. keep your mouth shut. Don't tell your other employees, because these employees probably, told every freaking person as soon as one person heard. That's maybe what they did.
Kind of trickled on down.
It just trickled on down. So, in my opinion, I'm trying to keep it fair and balanced and keep everything the same. I think they did some shady, but I also look at, the attorney trying to better herself and the vet and all that other crap trying to use thing. And like we talked about with Zach and everybody, focus on human beings. If you want a pet, go down to the animal shelter, get yourself a dog or a cat or a ferret or whatever the hell they got, or gerbil, shave it, whatever you got to do, whatever your flavor is. But once again, with that, I'm going to let that go because we already been through it. Everybody's talked about this a million freaking times. I just want to kind of touch base with our viewers because I know we had some comments on it.
They were wondering what the numbers were going to be because, like we talked about,
it was low.
We wanted to know what the numbers were.
And I'm shocked.
That's the answer. They were low.
I am shocked. Are you not shocked?
I'm not shocked.
I'm shocked because I figure...
No, the minute you told me, like I said, the minute you told me 3 days, I said impossible. And I was right. It's impossible.
Because you're dealing...
You're dealing with lots of things. You're dealing, You're dealing with an animal. You're dealing with people who are coming in cold. It's not like they went in there and got to pre-scout the place.
Yeah, they did.
It's not like
that
they
is
knew
a good point.
The trails and where the deer were coming from. You're just randomly going in somewhere and hoping you find something.
He said your ticket 2A4. This is the tree you're going to be at, or this location.
And I guarantee they didn't scout it out. I promise you they didn't scout it out.
Nine.
Son of a... And that's another thing. They had it there, too. They said, it's all secluded. So I'm thinking there's a lot of BS going on. And if they do it next year, which they're probably going to need to, call Timberbucks. We'll take care of it.
Yeah.
All us guys will take care of it. You want somebody knowledgeable? Get people that know what the hell they're talking about. Yeah. This is something we know. Get a bunch of hunters together. Let's come up with ideas to feed the hungry, benefit disabled people, get the youth involved.
Right.
Try to do something good for the community for once instead of thinking about your goddamn pocketbook, and that's what they need to do.
Absolutely.
But that's all I got to say there. And, so I get on this next episode, this next section, and I want to talk about this very clear because I want you folks, and I'm not trying to diss on people that hunt at public hunting. I'm not trying to diss on people that hunt on private land. But here's the difference. As a hunter, I respect hunting. I respect hunters that hunt. I've always obeyed the laws. I've always did what I was supposed to, check in deer and all this stuff. Yep. I had a situation this past year, this past week or 2 weeks, that you will not believe unless I tell you what's going on. And I think everybody here at this table knows what I'm talking about, so you guys are up to date. Mm-hmm. Sorry, we're not with the facts and we're not following. So I apologize. So here's how this goes.
I'll turn it off right now.
You're turning it off?
I turned it off.
Why?
So you can do your thing.
Oh, I'm going to talk.
Let's do this.
I'm going to talk. Let's hit this.
Is this some bull?
It is some bull. So it's sad and it's retarded at the same time. So picture this. Now, with Timberbucks, we go out there and we film hunts. And a lot of times, like, Mike films hunts, Highline films hunts. We got, like I said, a total of 7 guys here. And we all film our hunts. Every time we're in the woods, whether we're by ourselves, whether we're hunting different species of animals, whether it's squirrels, whether it's groundhog, whether it's deer, whatever it is, we have cameras with us.
Yep.
So picture this. We go out, me and Highline.
Yep.
And we go out before daylight. It's a little after 6, somewhere around, I'd say a little bit after 6. It's still dark.
It's dark.
So it's dark. And we're seeing the shadow of deer walk by us. It's that, and it's real quiet.
Don't lie.
Huh?
Paul was scared. He thought Coyote's going to come get him.
No, I actually ran up that damn ladder.
He said, oh, get out of the way.
Because I was shining the light, and I saw two, those eyes, and I went, oh,
Chupacabra.
He thought he was going to get God on that one.
Yeah, I thought I was. I went up that tree pretty fast for a fat
guy. He's like, hurry up, get up there. I'm like, I'm trying to get up there.
I'm trying to hook up my harness.
I was
like, Mario. Anyways, so we're in the woods and it's quiet. I mean, no wind. It's as quiet as can be. So we're sitting there and I see a light down at the bottom of the field, just kind of moving around, but then it went away. And I said, I thought I saw a light. And he goes, well, I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I didn't see. Of course, he was, getting the camera ready.
Yeah, I'm setting all the equipment up, and I'm also not sitting in the same exact angle Paul is. We're not next to each other that way.
We're up. He's up higher than I am. Yep. That's kind of how you do it when you film. Little tip, bit. So we're sitting there, and I said, I thought I saw light, but it was no big deal. So the sun's coming up. Everything's good. Saw lost squirrels, all this stuff, and all of a sudden we start hearing like rattling, and I'm like, that's weird. I was like, it's a little early for that. Deer aren't really too aggressive. I mean, they're chasing does. I mean, they do. They try to follow that dominant doe, and they'll stick with her till the rut, so they can breed them real quick, but never works. Anyway, so we heard that, and a little later, I'm sitting there in a tree stand. I think an hour, 2 hours went by, something like that. And I turned to my left. Guess what it was? Right, the same trail that we used that night.
Hold on now. Don't jump ahead.
I'm not jumping.
Not only did the clacking, don't forget the cool can.
Oh, the the doe bleat in the can where you turn, you go, you remember them old cow things you turn? Well, some genius at Primo said, I bet you that'll work. Nate sold millions of them things. Just, they just put their picture on it. Anyways, it had a can on it. And I said, what the fuck?
Yeah, when I heard that, I'm like,
I look over at him, I'm like, what the hell's going on?
I'm like, I don't know, dude.
And it's so quiet. So I got Highline in the tree, and he's got one of those jackets that every bark, he goes, every time he moves. And he's just moving around. I'm like, stop. I'm getting angry about that. So anyways, we hear the can, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I look over to my left, and here's a buck. Well, first I saw movement, and then next I saw, like, a body. Then I saw antlers. I went, oh, there's deer right there. Mm-hmm. It's over to my left, coming down the same trail that we just came down to the tree stand. You know the trail because you helped me clear it out. And so anyways, he's standing there for at least 15, 20 minutes looking straight. He's looking like straight at me on an angle like this. And I'm watching this deer, healthy as can be. And he's eating. And he lifts his head up and he looks around. And he's eating. Now, this is a small 8-point. I mean, I had time to count the horns. I see he had some good mass, but he wasn't the biggest thing that I knew was in there. But I was like, you know what? If we can get this deer on film, like our goals are.
And that's the thing. During the whole time, I couldn't see him until the last second.
Because the way he was facing, the deer's behind him. He's trying to communicate with me without talking, without this deer here. And so he pushes the arm of that camera around like this. I don't know how he did it without that deer seeing him. So anyways, I know it's an 8-point. I'm going to shoot him if he gives me a shot. So I'm thinking this deer is going to come this way. Mm-hmm. But he started going down. So he kind of went down right. I mean, I turned around and I'm looking. I drew back and it was like less than 20 yards. Smoked him.
Yep, I literally get right as I get the camera on him, I'm like, shoot him. Bam.
Smack. I nailed him, right?
Yeah.
So he like kicks down, he takes off, goes this way. And then probably like 30 seconds later, we knew he went this way, and all of a sudden we heard a crash.
We heard psh.
And I said, there he is. So we're doing high five, and we're all excited. And we sat there like normal for like 30 minutes, or I think it's 35 minutes. I said, I'm going to go down, check my arrow, see if there's blood. So finally looked around, I found blood, and I found my arrow.
Yep.
And I said, holy we got him, right? So in a nutshell, I went to the left to check out that trail because I saw him leap over to that trail, and I said, well, we'll start there. And Highline said, well, I'm going to take the camera since it's kind of thick up there. He's like, I'll go up in there and try to see if I see him on that side because we knew he crashed, and we gave him plenty of time after the crash.
And that's where the sound of the crash came from, was that direction.
Yeah, right up there. So anyways, we were sitting there, and he goes up. We weren't sitting there. We get up there, and I'm hearing yelling. And I'm like, who the hell is Highline talking to? I'm like, is he, peeing and just singing or something? I don't know what he's doing.
It happened.
It's Highline. We don't know what the hell he does. So he goes up there, and I said, well, I'm going to come over and see what, maybe found a deer, and he's probably getting a hold of me because, you're down in that holler trying to find. I go over there. He's like, there's somebody right there. There's some kid right there yelling at me. And I go, what are you talking about? Go ahead. You tell that part.
Yeah, because, he's whistling, and then we whistle each other. He comes in, And he's like,
he's using a grunt call when he's coming towards
he
us.
keeps using a grunt call, and he's coming to.
He's like burp, burp, burp.
I keep
and I'm
telling Paul, I said, "Get back here before I get shot,"
yeah,
because I'm just standing there. You know, I'm like, I'm going to get shot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Get back here!" So Paul's on his way back, and then he just stops moving. We start whistling at each other, and then he comes up and he goes, "Oh!" And that's when at this point Paul's back, and he goes, "Well, did you see a buck?
Did you see my big buck?" And I said, or he said something like, "You see a big buck come by?" And I said, "Possibly." Pretty good.
See a big old buck come running past you?
Possibly.
Right.
And I'm like, who the hell are you? Because I've hunted this place for over 14 years.
Yep.
And where I hunt is kind of private. And then down below, you got like public hunting, which is fine. It's all good. But I got permission to hunt behind this certain location. And I said, you know, who are you? I mean, I ain't going to just tell you who the hell I am, you know.
Yep.
And I'm hearing him, but he backed off in the bushes, like real sneaky. I'm like, where the hell is this going? Like, why are you backing up? If you want to confront me, you know. And here's the other thing: as we get farther, I'm pretty sure that son of watched us up there, was sitting up there, not far from us, right? So either he's thinking that he shot at a deer, or my deer is his buck, or whatever's going on. So he's arguing. And I wasn't really arguing. I said, well, no one really has permission here as far as I know. He goes, well, this is public. I said, nah, it's not public here, buddy.
What's that?
Possibly. Here you.
Public property. What are you talking about?
Not this part.
Huh?
Not this part.
Who owns this?
No one's allowed hunting down over here.
No.
It's private. And he was arguing. We got it all on film, right?
Yeah, we have it on film.
So I told Highline, and then he goes that way. He just keeps going that way. But where that deer crashed,
It's where
he was there. He was there.
And we had a big briar patch between us and there, so we could not see. It was just a wall of briar
right there. So I told Highline, I said, well, let's take the bow back and take the camera back. Let's strip down light and grab a rope, because we're probably gonna have to do some dragging. So we get down in the truck and we're standing there. It's like, who was that guy and what the hell was going on? Something like that. So anyways, this truck pulls up, going very fast, and then the window was down, and all of a sudden the person recognized me and I knew him, and he goes, so what are you doing? And I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, just for a quick note, the person that was driving the truck,
before that,
we did not see in the woods.
Yeah.
But
they were walking out.
He was there.
Yeah.
He was in the woods. We didn't see him. He was sneaking around.
You see how this is coming, right?
I see where it's going.
So we're standing there. He's talking about this and that. He says, well, and then the son is yelling across the thing. I mean, he's getting freaking.
He was getting attitude.
I'm thinking this dude's like, I'm thinking he's like 18 or something. Like, I'm like, no,
I thought he was younger. I thought he was like a 16-year-old kid.
17.
He looked like 16,
he acted like
17-year-old
a bitch.
kid. Yeah.
That's what he acted like. He's like, you shot my deer and you messed up my hunting. And I was like, what are you talking about? I said, we got this deer on film. I shot the son of a bitch. And then the father said something, because I think he knows me. There ain't no ifs saying he knows me.
Yep.
That's the worst part. And then he said, well, I ain't arguing over a deer. And I was like, you know what? He's got a good point. But this kid wouldn't shut the up.
No.
Now, in the prior years, we've had a certain individual on a trail camera flipping off a trail camera, leaving bloody arrows on the tree stands.
Right.
You know, like, look at me, I killed a deer off your stand. Sitting there on tree stands, we know who it is. And it's the same person. I'm like, that's that goddamn kid, you know.
Yep.
So anyways, so the father says, we're coming back for that deer. And I go, really? You are? That's what he said to me. Literally said. And I said, okay. Well, I'm going to go get that deer, you know. But here's the thing. We started walking out. We saw them. The truck was down around the corner, and then all of a sudden they're gone. So, and we went up there to look. No deer.
They got the deer.
They got the deer.
It's real simple. When we were standing there and the kid sitting there talking to us, we didn't know the other guy was out there.
So he's probably dragging the damn
he's
deer.
dragging our deer
Playing decoy.
out of the way.
Exactly.
And probably hit it. Honestly, I think he hit it somewhere. And that's why he said, oh, we'll come back an hour and then we'll track it. They didn't need to track it. They knew exactly where it was. They stole our damn deer.
Yeah.
They're pieces of
They are pieces of
That's what they are.
And then they said, well, we got permission on the public land. I was like, you might have permission for a public land, but you don't understand. You can't hunt here. This is private. It's separated. And they're like, no, it ain't. And they were asking me, they're like, well, you got your permission slip? Well, where's yours?
Yeah.
And they didn't say they didn't say nothing. That kid started running. You know what the kid did when they pulled away? You. He stuck it. I was like, you know what? If that kid was older, then I found out the kid was only like 22. I was like, oh my God, if I known what I know then. But I'm trying to be, here's the thing I'm trying to say. You're not a hunter taking someone else's deer. You're not a hunter disturbing. And here's the other sad part about this. Right after all this stuff, that same person boasted on Facebook and killed like a 170 buck out of my tree stand. I guarantee it's out of my damn tree
right
stand.
It is, because we were tracking it.
We were tracking that
For
deer.
3
We knew where it
fucking
was.
years.
Yeah. We've
3
been
goddamn
we've been
years.
hunting that property. We hung tree stands. We have monitored it. We have let them pass. We have done everything. We know this buck inside and out. So the worst thing is, so they got 2 deer. You know, and everybody's like, well, you should have called a game warden. No, it ain't going to do any good because these pieces of just like it's going on at every public land, and I am going to testify for this, every public land is having those families. You know who I'm talking about. Those families that are taking control of these private lands that think they run the whole thing because they bring like 5 guys with them, 5 family members, all these people, and they think they run that protective area.
That's exactly what it is.
And a lot of local people know who these people are. They're fed up with it.
Let me make this real clear.
All right.
These people are going to know you. I know you're watching this, and they're going to know who you are.
Damn right.
They're going to know who you are. I won't have to say it.
No.
Because I know people will comment on it. And they're going to say
know
who you are. And they're going to
Exactly.
blast. And you know what? I don't say do anything violent towards you, but you should be exposed. You're a goddamn poacher piece of is what you are.
He's not a poacher. He's a fake. He's not a hunter. A real hunter.
He stole our deer.
Yeah, he's a thief.
He's a thief. He stole a deer. What else do you want to call it?
And here's the other thing. He disturbed my hunt.
Damn right he did.
And the thing is with that, he disturbed my hunt. Okay? And the point I'm trying to make is whether he came back and took it, we don't know because we're speculating. We know what happened. We know exactly they took the deer. But let's say they didn't. So they screwed up my hunt for the whole season. Like I can't.
No,
I can't hunt there no more.
Our season shot there.
Our season shot. Here's the sad thing. What we do with the videos is we try to capture, we try to capture the hunt. Just like all these professionals do. We're not professional. We said that. But it takes a lot of time. And I'm telling you what, if you could shoot a deer on film with 2 guys in a tree, you're bad at my book. And I know there's a lot of self-filmers out there.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, half the Timberbucks. Mike has done it 100 times. He shot small game and stuff. And it's like you don't understand the work it puts in. These are the same people that us out of turkey season. They showed up to.
Yeah, wasn't that the same fucking
That's the
guy
same
that
guy
we had
that-
on a turkey season? There's another episode you can go watch.
Yeah, I mean, so
Trespassers and turkey.
it's the same was in the same tree next to my tree stand that year.
That was
and just
our
took
first
off.
year as Timberbucks.
Yeah, and just took off and was like cussing us out, saying all this negative stuff, and we're like, who the is these people? Like, we don't know. So it's getting to be a problem with these public places that you're getting certain families and groups that are taking over, and I feel that the game wardens aren't really enforcing this shit.
That spot's now, so
It is.
it's screwed.
You're
It's like congratulations, you ruined a spot,
Interrupt.
and you know what? We'll find another one because we can actually hunt. And you
I have
can't.
my own property.
We have places that we'll find, and we'll be fine.
But it's a shame
And you won't get another deer probably the rest of your life because you're a piece of
You know what? I hope you admire
because
that
now
deer
you can't
hanging
find
up.
our stands because they won't be there. You won't be able to just shadow us like a little leech that you are.
And copy.
You're a leech.
Yeah, good point. Your take?
Well, ever since I started hunting a while back, there's always been this rule. Like everybody knows, I'm mostly small game hunter. You know what I mean? I don't really, whatever. I like my squirrels and rabbits and whatnot. But certain times of the year, you have to have, it's a matter of respect. You know, you guys say like what you guys do when you're out there doing that. Years you've put into this, and then somebody's going to come along and screw it up.
Absolutely.
It's the same reason why, like, when it, like, I think it's on, we're here in a couple weeks when firearm buck season starts up.
Oh, that's going to be a good time.
I may love my small game hunting. I will stay out of those woods for those couple of weeks out of respect because I don't want to go in there making a bunch of noise with my
But you have
guns.
the right to go in there.
Oh, absolutely have the right.
You could go.
But,
I'm not saying that.
But I won't just simply because there's a risk that what I would do would disrupt the work that other people have put in.
They don't
in
give
preparation.
a fuck.
I just think that's ignorant.
They're
as
not
hell.
like you. They're not like me. They're not like Chris. They're not like the rest of the guys. It's like you when we share properties, you know, that we own in Timberbucks, and we all hunt. And if someone gets a buck off that property, we're like high five and we're all sending them like, hey, it's great.
Yeah.
You know, and I understand people need places to hunt. I'm not saying that public hunting is bad. I'm just saying it's bad enough. It's hard enough to get a deer somewhere. And we weren't on public hunting. We were on private, borderline public.
Yep.
And these sons of just get away with the and the problem is they keep getting away with the because no one says anything. They know who the they are.
Yep.
They can name them one hand.
We can name you right now.
But we're not.
I have you on film.
Yeah.
I could expose your little all over the damn internet if I wanted to.
It gets all violent.
No,
Hey,
this
right.
is bull. I've wasted 3 years hunting this stupid deer, and you come in and steal it at the last goddamn second after we got a shot on film when I've been chasing this deer for almost 3 to 4 years.
Filming.
Not
exactly.
Hunting. Well, no, I'm not the one.
I'm the one that's been hunting.
He's the one
something.
sitting there trying to get the shot. I'm trying to get the thing on film. You don't know how hard it is, and I got your ass on film.
They think they're funny too. That whole conversation, he's sitting there
he's
filming.
thinking
Highline's like
I had the whole
he ain't
thing.
playing around. The whole conversation, all this bullshit.
Because guess what? Newsflash: West Virginia is a one-party state. I don't need your permission to expose your.
Exactly, but we're just gonna let it go because it's gonna come to an end. Because
I don't have to do it.
You know,
they're gonna know.
It's funny to me that we have to deal with this anymore. And I look at that generation, that young guy.
Oh,
I
my
call
God.
him a kid because he is younger than we are.
Yeah, he's a kid to us.
He has no idea because if this was 20 years ago and you did that, I swear to God, I'd rip you out of that fucking truck and beat you to death. And I would if it was 20 years
You ain't
ago.
wrong.
Now I'm a grown man. I don't want to fight over a stupid deer, but the point is, I tried to explain to him, it's a small 8-point. I shot it. I got it on film. And they didn't want to listen to that.
No.
And the thing is, they're just going to, basically, they thought they were going to bully. And that's the thing that pissed me off because I'm like, I hate bullies. I hate people that think they come on public land. They're just going to shove people out because it's happening. It's happening a lot. A lot of people, you know, they go in there, they take their climbers, they take their saddles, and then there's somebody there, or they shoot a deer and they steal it, or they're poaching.
Who sets up a stand, 10 feet, if that, from us?
They didn't have a stand. They were walking, or they were on the ground.
No, he was.
I caught that little son back in the day in my tree stand one time, and I ran him out. And I told him, stay out of my tree stands. You're not putting the time in. You know, well, first I said, did you put this up? And he goes, well, yeah. Oh, when did you do it? Because I know I just put it up a week ago.
See, that's one of the disadvantages about public hunting is if you put a tree stand up in public hunting, then anybody is allowed to use it.
But it's not.
But it's not.
It's
what
not
we're talking about right
public.
here is private.
Not public.
It's private hunting.
Yeah.
See, that
It's private.
person should be prosecuted.
Well, you know what? I could have pushed it. And, I said, you know what? Take the deer. And I hope you get sick off of it or something because it was a great shot.
We have it on film.
It's so sad that anymore the respect for us is just out the door, and hunters and people wonder why people don't want to hunt anymore. I thought to myself, I'm not letting your little ass stop me. I don't care who the you are. If I catch you again in my stand, I'll cut the tree down when you're in it. That's how I'm going to do it. That's how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to grab a chainsaw and just rev it up and cut down the tree. Say timber,
Bucks.
bucks. Yeah. Timber,
No, that's fucked
But-
though, man.
It is.
The bottom line is he's going to be exposed. I promise you.
You
Because
probably
someone's going to know his name and it's going to go out there and there ain't
Yeah.
nothing going to do about it. He did it to himself. You can't
Piss
act
off.
this way and think that nobody's going to hold you accountable for your actions.
Just don't think you got away with it. You might have got away with it
who tells
once. I mean, we got trail cameras on this dude. I mean, he's done stupid like, just young adolescent bullshit.
It's not just young, though.
He was young at the time when we got him.
Well, the kid is young.
Yeah.
But
But the
the
adult
dog
just
that's
does,
hanging out
he's
with
just
him-
letting them do it.
He's sitting there
Yeah.
encouraging it.
He says, "Well,
He's
you
more
shouldn't
guilty
talk
than
to
the
him.
young one."
You shouldn't talk to him like that. Just don't yell at him like that." Well, no, because he knows me,
Yeah.
and
What,
I'm
bring his
not.
blankie at home?
I don't know. He's a little. Anyways, he's like about that big. Thinks he's a hard whatever. One of those types, And they've been trying to run that place, and I'm looking at him like I mind myself. I hang my stuff. I leave everybody alone. You get a deer, you get a deer. We'll hunt the same kind of deer, but it's bad when you shoot it and you can't get it, and that means I have no meat in the freezer right now. I have none because we've been hunting now as hard as possible, and I haven't seen any mature does to shoot. I haven't seen, and
No.
we all been trying hard. We work. I mean, we don't
Yeah,
don't
we
sit at
actually
home
have
and
jobs.
hunt. Yeah, we have real jobs, son. You don't understand what a real job is, but maybe when you grow up, get off your mama's tit,
Their
you
real
might
job
understand.
is to steal people's deer. That's
And
what
then
their
they're
job
gonna
is.
brag about it and all this shit. But the point
Yeah,
is,
post
they
it
don't
up on
know.
Facebook.
They don't know how to hunt. They don't know how to hunt. They're
Sure
punks.
they do. They just copy what the we do.
Exactly.
They just sit on our spots.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
real hard for you to come in seasons because you ain't gonna be able to pull that shit anymore.
Not anymore because we're not tolerating it.
Nope.
It's over. But that's what happened to us just recently, and I thought it was a good comment because I respect people that public hunt, and people need public hunting because a lot of people don't have access to hunting, properties to hunt. So it's a great thing. But the thing is, you gotta follow the rules. How many times have I said this about anything in hunting? Because you're just tarnishing everything.
It has some etiquette.
They're just and they're the same redneck piece of but each other that have no idea what the talking about. And you know what? You want to antagonize me, but remember, I'm a lot bigger than you are, and I don't tolerate this shit. And I'll just take legal action next time because I'll just say, okay, well, it, I'll call a game warden. Let's see how fast this flies,
Yeah.
And I should have done it, but I was like, you know what? This is bull. I was pissed off. I was like, you know what? It's not worth it. I ain't going to beat up no kid. I'm not going to beat up dad, embarrassing his, dad because,
Probably arriving in pain.
probably,
I'd never
yeah.
say something different.
Yeah.
But
He had a toothache anyways.
I literally had a monster infection,
Yeah,
infected
you
tooth
did.
that I'm sitting there dealing with.
Yeah, he was all swelled up.
I swelled up. I
You should have
couldn't
heard
even
him. He's like,
concentrate. I was not feeling
he
well.
looked like a
so
chipmunk.
Peanuts.
Yeah, he was like,
so it wasn't like
it
I
was
in
kind of
my-
nice
my
though
good
because he couldn't
moment.
talk that
No.
much. But now, he's raring to go. He's all fired.
Well, I
up.
ain't in now. I mean, you are lucky because I would have just said, Paul, it up. I'm calling the game warden. But
Yeah.
you're lucky. You caught me on the one day where I got an infected tooth.
Maybe
I
it would have
can't
helped if
talk.
someone popped you in the freaking jaw.
It's ridiculous.
Quick, pop this pus bubble.
3 years. 3 years.
I'll tell you what, looking back, it is pathetic how people have this trophy mindset. Like they got to get something. They got to get something every time. So they don't care who they cut off. And that's the thing. If you notice that somebody's already in a spot, walk the away and go find another spot and then come back to the spot the next day. Or communicate with people. And he goes, well, you're being smart ass because you said maybe. What else am I supposed to say? I don't know who the
I want to tell you that our buck is right there.
yeah. Like
What business is it of yours? Because it ain't your buck.
no.
You didn't shoot it.
No, we
did.
I had the bloody arrow and everything.
I'll play it again. Look.
Shoot it.
Yeah.
There it is. You can see it again. Want me to replay it for you again? We'll replay it again.
We'll just keep
There you
hammering it back and
go.
forth. He's on
We
fire.
shot the damn deer.
was
You
pissed.
didn't shoot.
He was
You're
madder
a
than I
fucking
was.
thief. That's what
He
you
didn't
are.
even hunt it. He was filming it. He was pissed. Well, we did work hard. You know, we have
yeah.
been working hard.
3 years.
And we have captured animals on film.
Yes.
But this one was just kind of cool. Everything came together, and it was an awesome hunt.
It was a
because
great hunt.
looking back, it was just one of those perfect things. But
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about this location that it's just haunted
Cursed.
or cursed. I think it's cursed. We're probably not going to go back to that ever again because I'm going to go on my property. If I catch him property, I'm calling the game warden. I ain't playing this game no more.
That'll be the end of
I'm
it.
done with it. I mean,
That'll be the end of
it
it.
leaves a bad taste in your mouth because, you know, that meat, for instance, not that they give a shit. They probably have like 3 heads hanging in their lodge. But,
Well, 2 of them
Probably
are
dump
ours.
the rest of
so
it.
That's fine.
yeah, probably. That meat would have lasted my family at least, you know, a couple months, and we would have had extra meat, you know,
Yep.
and save on.
I don't
and
like
then
the
these,
roast. I can't-
yeah,
I mean,
I
I like
always
a
give
roast.
that
I always
jerky.
get a roast.
You would be tearing that up, Mike, and
But no,
you know
no.
the neighbors
You
could
do
have
make
helped
some
out.
mean jerky.
I do make some teriyaki, and then I make the hot stuff. The hot stuff's bad. It'll burn your butt. It burns your butthole right
I don't think
there.
I've ever had the hot stuff.
You never tried it?
Teriyaki was good. I don't think I've ever had the hot jerky though.
That'd be nice if I had deer meat. I'd show you how to do it. You know, maybe one day. But I mean,
We can make jerky out of my squirrel.
there's not enough meat. What am I going to? You got to eat that thing. You got to get it out of the freezer and eat
It
it.
is thawing as we speak.
You got to make your squirrel stew and show everybody. You need to do that. You need to do.
Coming soon.
Put it on pizza. It's like shred it up.
Ooh,
You
you know
put
what,
it on
man?
pizza?
I gotta tell you, that doesn't sound good at all.
No,
no, I
squirrel
gotta.
pizza. You don't think so, Chris?
No.
No, really? He's a real picky eater too, man.
Yeah, no.
His daughter is too. She's picky too.
Yep.
They're just picky people when it comes to eating. Picky people, pizza. Picky,
Wow, that's a tongue twister there, isn't it?
picky people.
I'm confused trying to figure that one
I
out.
know. So we covered a lot today.
Yeah.
You know, one thing about it. Guess what tomorrow is?
I don't know.
Just tomorrow, Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Tomorrow.
Look at Paul. He got a
You
little. You want to do your
motherfuckers.
little hair?
Wait,
It's his birthday.
sorry,
dude.
yeah, I know.
Really? Are you serious? No respect. It's all right. I wasn't trying to get.
Should
you
we
know.
sing early happy
No.
birthday to
Oh
him?
God.
No, I don't think we're gonna do that. But I like how he's so worried about his birthday. Just wants to make us know that he's older.
Well, I'm not older.
He's old
You
now.
know, I'm like
Dude,
26.
You don't turn 48 every year.
Hey, I'm not 48. Wait. You bastard. No. I ain't 48. I'm in my 40s, but I ain't no 48, man. You know, I'm 48 going on 21, what my wife says. You know, my body, my mind says, oh, yeah, let's do this. And then my body's like, no, you can't drink that much. No.
Kool-Aid Man in reverse.
Yeah. It's like, no.
That's great.
I'm Family Guy, you know that thing. You
Yeah.
know? You know.
No.
No. Pizza Mike said no.
No.
So, I mean, those are the toppings. That's what's going on this week, what we're talking about on Timber Talk. You know, I don't know. You guys got a comment. Let us know what you think. What would you do on that situation? That's the thing.
I'd love to see the
I
comment.
know.
of what
I know
the
a lot
fans
of
are gonna
people
do.
said. I know people I talk to.
Yeah.
Other than on this social media thing, because it's the first time talking about it. A lot of people said I would have kicked his. Or someone
Yep.
said I would have called the game warden. I would have went and got the deer. Here's the thing: I tried to go get the deer. It's gone. It's gone.
They stole it.
It was gone. So, and then calling the game warden, what do you got? And we got it on film, but
You
it's
literally
like,
shot it in the heart, dude. How's it going to survive? That's
I
why
stuck it
30
right through
seconds
there.
later we heard the
I
damn
know.
crash.
And then
it can't go
everybody's
that far.
they're making fun. Well, you just donate deer. I'm like, I guess so. Feed the hungry.
Yeah.
Apparently he poaches more than that, but whatever. And
No, I'm right there with you. Even 20 years ago myself, I probably would have pummeled him.
I think I would have
shit.
just
There's a big bloody mess on the ground.
Yeah.
But older now. You know what I mean? Leave that to the authorities.
Well, that little devil on one side of the shoulder, said, do something.
Yep.
And then the angel's like, you know, you got a family, you're an adult now.
Yeah, we have to.
And
be
anytime
adult.
you get in a fight, it hurts worse now because your bones just don't heal properly.
Don't worry. Like I said, the valley is small, and we
Yeah.
all know this.
And talk is cheap.
And again, we have the evidence, so we're gonna post the actual what happened.
Yeah, but it wasn't even a deer he was aiming
And
at.
I won't even say the name, but I promise you, because the valley's so small, it's gonna leak.
You know
Someone's
what's-
gonna know who you are. They're
Yeah.
gonna know you.
You know what's funny? The buck wasn't that big of an 8-point.
No.
And I don't think the stupid kid, if he would have shut the up long enough to listen to me, I said, I don't know about a giant because, you know, I've killed some nice deer. That was just an average deer. It was a good freezer deer. It was a good freezer deer.
decent deer. And
I got it on film. I hunted it.
Film.
And that was the point. And I was trying to explain to the kid, but the kid's like having this little spasm ADD. I don't know what the problem is. He probably got beat up in school and made
He had
fun
the
of.
nerve to try to say that
Yeah.
we interrupted his hunt.
I interrupted his hunt, right?
That's
Yeah.
what his nerve was. He was like, "You
I mean-
interrupted my hunt."
I mean, me, I got to stay in there. I'm sitting there
Yeah.
before daylight.
And he
You
cleared
know?
out the area.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's
yeah, I mean,
it's
the cameraman
it's
set
so
up?
absurd. Yeah, cameraman. Yeah, I mean, we didn't plan that one. We didn't have this plan. No, we just
That sounds
we just
spur of the
winged
moment to me.
Yeah, we threw up a tree stand real quick. You know how making noise with tree
oh
stands.
yeah,
and
you can just
camera.
did all
Oh
that.
yeah,
we did that in first 5 minutes before.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what we did.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're
that
that
makes
good.
perfect sense.
Saw him over the hill.
Fucking
Oh,
idiot.
there's that son of a bitch.
Oh, there he
I'm
is.
gonna
Let's
set
cut
this
him
up
off.
real quick.
Or
Let's
maybe
cut
some shows up with a flashlight and a stupid can call. Maybe showed up.
It sounded like a little.
It
And
was.
I had one. I had
It
one,
is.
but I busted it out of the truck. But it's like them old moo calls.
Moo call.
Moo call. I said mew. I pluraled it.
Yeah.
And it was like meow. You know, and I was like, that's
when
a
I
doe.
heard that, because before I was like, well, maybe deer are fighting. Maybe that's possible. But the minute I heard, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, because
I'm like,
that's
now I know for sure there's
that-
some
that's
on our hunt.
normally used for like late season when the deer can't get bred and she's trying to find a buck to breed her and she's
Right.
in heat. They make that noise. It's like a doe bleed. It's like
I'm
a
gonna do that in the first week of the season.
Yeah, and then they rattle and I'm like, so early for freaking rattling. I mean, and then I told the kid, you hear me? He's not a kid. He's an adult. But you heard me. I said, never use a grunt call when you're approaching a hunter because
No.
you don't know what kind of weapon you don't know if they got a gun in their hand. They might shoot. Like I was
I don't know
thinking,
what the hell he
I
was
was
doing.
thinking a buck was. I thought that buck we shot was coming at us like
Trying to
van
gore you.
deer.
Yeah.
Van deer or something. It's coming at us, and he's like burr 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 all the way towards us, and I'm like, what the is this going on? And I was down there. I was looking at him. He goes, I'm serious. There was a kid like 10 steps in front of me,
Yeah, he got real close.
and I said, where'd he go? He's like, I don't know. And he's like, I'm ready. You see the bush. It was kind of funny. The bush is moving. You know, he must have been moving the bush and he's talking. I'm like, it's a talking bush.
Yeah. I mean,
I've heard of this.
Yeah.
It was
It's like,
stupid.
where did I hear that from? You know,
so stupid.
come on, you baby, why don't you love me? Yeah.
Like I
That
said,
kind of shit.
he'll be
Or that's
exposed.
Spaceballs.
They're gonna be
That's
exposed.
Yeah, a little dancing.
Yeah, when he gave it, get this man some Pepto.
Oh no, not again.
Not again. What do you mean again? Yeah, but I mean, that's all the time we have for today on Timber Talk. You know, check us out on the other episodes, wherever this podcast is broadcast. You know, give us a thumbs up. You know, on YouTube, give us some, comments.
Lots of comments.
Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, wherever that podcast is broadcast. And, we appreciate all the comments that people have.
Yep.
Negative, bad, it doesn't matter. We're all here for one thing. We try to entertain you on our ways of hunting, and we hope you guys enjoy everything that we're giving to you and presenting to you. And also check out Timberbucks, man, production. That's where we hunt. That's where we talk about some, tips, techniques that might help you in the woods. Whether you're a seasoned hunter, whether you're a beginner, hell, we don't care. Maybe we have some good ideas. If you want to leave us comments and maybe some tricks or techniques that you use, maybe during the rut, maybe you got some survival tips. It doesn't matter. Maybe it's just, changing your damn oil in your truck. We don't know. Whatever tips you got for us, send it to us, Don't be a smart. Well, don't drink yellow snow, We got that. But, anything
You're not
that you want to
supposed to?
send. No. 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 But anything that you want to leave us, go ahead. And if you want to hear more about something, by God, leave us a comment. And I know some of you guys want to hear about other things that we have talked about in the past. We'll get to you, I promise you. And we do thank you for the comments, and we do appreciate everyone. I am Paul.
I am Chris.
And I am Pizza Mike.
Pizza Mike. God bless you all. We'll see you again. Timberbucks.
Check for ticks.